A lot of guitarists ask me how to best break into building up picking speed. Now, there are a lot of different approaches and methods out there, but I just wanted to share one that's worked well for me and for my students. You'll often see guitar players playing fast runs like the one in the intro of this video, and the runs often just seem impossibly complex and fast. The picking hand is just moving like a machine gun, and the whole run just looks like a well-oiled machine. Not trying to toot my own horn or anything. I want to tell you today that these huge runs across the neck of the guitar generally often consist of many small, simple, but quick movements chained together. So today I'm going to break down a couple of these small speed movements that are often chained together to form these big runs. I'm going to talk a little bit about how to practice them, and then I'm going to give you some awesome speed licks that show how these examples can be chained together to form the big speed runs that we're after. Before we dive into the licks, and I apologize for the shameless self-promotion, if you're liking what you see here, if you consider dropping us a like or even a subscription if you're so inclined to this channel, we really appreciate it and it is a huge help. The first speed sequence involves a 6-note grouping where we pick 4 notes and then hammer on 2 notes. I'm going to take it on the 7th, 9th, and 10th frets of the A string. So it's going to be like... It's down, up, hammer, hammer. The next speed phrase is another 6-note sequence. I'll show you on the 4th, 5th, and 7th frets of the D and G strings. Specifically, it's going to be down, hammer, hammer, down, up, down. So, down, hammer, hammer, down, up, down. The next speed phrase is going to involve pull-offs. Specifically, it's going to be a pick, 2 pull-offs, and then 3 picked descending notes. Pick, pull-off, pick, pick, pick. Down, pull-off, down, up, down. The next speed phrase is going to be kind of an introduction to economy picking. It's not going to be strict economy picking or anything like that. We're looking to kind of do more of a mix of picking and legato. But what that would be is, in this case, I'm going to be picking 3 notes, down, up, down, and then I'm going to do a second downstroke to the next string, followed by 2 hammer-ons. I'm going to take it on the 4th, 5th, and 7th frets again of the D and G strings. So this would be down, up, down, down, hammer, hammer. The next speed phrase is essentially going to be the same, but reversed. It's going to be 3 picked notes, descending, followed by a picked note and 2 pull-offs. Down, up, pull off, pull off. So as you're practicing those speed movements, the most important thing you want to be aware of is just synchronization and coordination, and just breaking things into the smallest piece possible. So for example, say something like this little lick. That might seem really fast at first. For that example, for example, you'd want to make sure you can do that hammer-on really comfortably. You know, so just make sure your left hand is strong enough to get those notes out. After that, you want to make sure that you can cross to the next string, you know, quickly enough. So just getting that, so you might just practice doing the hammer-ons and then just leaping to that next note on the next string. And then once that's smooth, in other words, there's no pause as you cross between the strings, then you could look at adding the rest of those picked notes in there. And then getting that smooth. The key is, when you're working on these, you're not just doing them slowly and sort of mindlessly, you're really intensely practicing them in bursts, and you're really consciously trying to play them faster and faster, and you're doing them as smooth as you can. All right, this lick is going to involve a ascending E minor scale run. Let's check it out. In this example, we're going to be using one of our first picking sequences earlier in the video, starting on the 7th, 9th, and 10th frets of the A string. So it's going to be pick, 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 hammer, hammer, or down, up, hammer, hammer. Then on the D string, same frets, 7, 9, and 10, down, up, hammer, hammer. Then it's going to be 7, 9, and 11 on the G string, down, up, hammer, hammer. 8, 10, and 12 on the B string, down, up, hammer, hammer. And on the high E string, down, up, down. This next phrase is going to be a really cool descending sort of harmonic minor sound. It's going to be a really, really fluid sort of picking sound. This is a a really sort of tough one with the hand-eye coordination with the speed parts of this lick, but if you do this, you're going to be rewarded with a very, very fluid sound. And again, this is much easier to build the speed up with than just strictly picking every note. So this one, beginning on the 19th fret of the high E string, it's going to be a pick, pull off, and then 3 quick picks. So down, pull off, down, up, down, then 18, 17, and 15 on the B string, down, pull off, down, up, down, then 17, 16, 14 on the G string, down, pull off, down, up, down. So finishing on the 13th fret of the G string, and a quick little Phrygian dominant phrase to finish things up. This third lick is going to involve taking one of our speed sequences and ascending up a single string. Let's check it out. All right, this next example is going to involve this sort of almost like a 12-note picking phrase. It's one of our earlier picking sequences, but it's going to be doubled up and moving up a single string. So it's going to be like 10, 12, and 13 on the B string to start. It's going to be down, up, hammer, hammer. But the pattern repeats twice. So it's going to be down, up, hammer, hammer, and then again down, up, hammer, hammer. Then up to 12, 13, and 15, doing the same phrase. Then 13, 15, and 17 doing the same phrase. We then hit 14, 15, and 17 on the E string. And there's a quick bluesy sort of descending phrase to finish things off. This next example is going to be a similar ascending picking idea. Let's check it out. So it's going to be from 5, 7, and 8, pick, hammer, hammer, then to the A string, and then pick 5, 7, 8. Then the phrase starts over from the same string. So I'm going to start from the 5, 7, and 8 on the A string now. So far I had pick, hammer, hammer, pick, pick, pick. Then from the 5, 7, and 8 on the A string, it's going to be pick, hammer, hammer, up to 6, 7, 9 on the D string, pick, pick, pick. And then it's going to be from the D string, 6, 7, and 9, pick, hammer, hammer, G string, 5, 7, and 9, pick, 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 5, 7, and 9 on the G, pick, hammer, hammer, then up to 6, 9, and 10 on the B, pick, 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 then pick 6, hammer on 9 and 10, and then pick, 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 7, 8, and 10 on the high E string, and then slide up to 12. The ending phrase involves pick, 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 or down, up, pull off. Same thing on the B string, down, up, pull off. This next example is actually going to give us a little bit of an introduction to economy picking. It's going to use the sequence we looked at, one of the sequences we looked at earlier in the video. Let's check it out. Picking 12, 14, and 16 on the D string with a down, up, down. Then there's another downstroke that flows through to the 12th fret of the G string. So down, up, down, down, and then 2 hammer-ons to the 14th and 16th frets of the G string. So we have, then that pattern, I'm just going to move up to the 13th fret of the B string and repeat that same pattern. Down, up, down, hammer, hammer. 13, 15, 17, down, up, down, hammer, hammer. Down, up, down, hammer, hammer. Down, up, down, hammer, hammer. This next example is a descending single string idea. It's going to use one of our speed sequences combined with position shifts to get a really rapid cascading descending tone. So if you practice the picking sequences from earlier in the video, you'll find this one's relatively easy to get this going. Let's check this one out. In this example, I'm going to be starting on 19 on the high E, and it's going to be 19, 17, and 15 with 3 picks. And then I'm going to pick 19 and pull off to 17 and 15. So it's going to be down, up, pull off. So pick, 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 pull off. then down to 17, 15, 14, down, up, pull off, and then 15, 14, and 12, down, up, pull off. And then the phrase, that's just based on the E Aeolian mode. This whole phrase is kind of based on the E Aeolian mode, but that ending blues phrase has the flat fifth or the blue note in there, which just gives it a little bit of a bluesy sort of tone to finish things off. And so with the rapid cascading picking and the bluesy finisher, cool combination. Lastly, we have a pretty challenging scale run. We're going to be really rapidly climbing up an E minor scale to get a really effective, smooth, fluid speed picking run. Let's check it out. So what it's going to be is a really rapid ascension up the E Aeolian mode, and so that's going to be picking 12 and then hammering on the 14 and 15 on the low E, then picking 12, 14, and 15 on the A, picking 12 and then hammering on to 14 and 16 on the D, then picking 12, 14, and 16 on the G. So we have down, hammer, hammer, down, up, down, hammer, hammer, down, up, down. That pattern is going to continue starting from the 13th fret of the B string. It's going to be down, hammer, hammer, then down, up, down, and that's 14, 15, 17 on the high E that I just did there. And then I slide up to 19 on the high E. Thank you for watching this video. Really appreciate your attention. If you enjoyed what you saw here, please consider dropping us a like, a subscription, or even a nice comment if you're so inclined. We really appreciate it, and every little bit helps as we build this thing. Thanks for watching, and we're going to have many more videos coming your way very soon. Stay tuned.